What's up, guys? Lockjaw here, joined by Virus, and this is day 3 of our week of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe discussions. We're going to be talking about characters this time. We do have some new characters in this game that weren't in the Wii U version. So to list them off real quick, Dry Bones, Bowser Jr., King Boo, Inkling Boy, and Inkling Girl. So, also Gold Mario, if you want to count him. We now know he's just a skin, but if you want to count him as a character, we have him as well. So, if you count him, that would be 6. If not, that would be 5. But, so overall, we now know the roster, the set roster, assuming there's no DLC. We're just going to talk about a little bit, what we think of it. So, overall, for me, I don't know, there are a lot of clone characters, and there's a lot of baby characters. But overall, it's not too bad. I really love the addition of the Koopalings, and it is good to see some familiar faces being brought back for Deluxe, like Dry Bones, King Boo, and Bowser Jr. So overall, not too bad. Looking at now what is the final roster of the game. If you want to talk about it a little bit.
Well, first of all, I want to commend you for mentioning Bowser Jr. because I don't know, maybe I'm the only one noticing, but a lot of people who are reviewing the game or getting it early and talking about it, they forget that he actually was not in 8, the original. Which, I forget.
I actually
that too,
did hear a
almost,
couple of videos where they just didn't. I guess it was just he was such an obvious choice from the get-go.
He should have been in the
that
original.
People just assumed he was in it and forgot that he wasn't. And all the Koopalings, I think, too, maybe kind of messed people up. But Bowser Jr. is a newcomer. I mean, he's returning from like Wii, but he's coming to Mario Kart 8.
Glad to see him back. Dry Bones was in a few previous games. King Boo, Inklings, I don't mind them. I think that's cool that they're
we can get a little bit more into the whole guest character thing a little later on, but for now we're just kind of going overall thoughts for what the roster is now, what we know it to be. So
I want to say overall I'm okay with it. I'm not going to nitpick it to death and then just start complaining. But but I will say I feel that there's a lot of filler, a lot of just unnecessary characters. Is that wrong to say that?
No, I think that's fair.
I don't want to come off as
clone
being
characters
mean.
And just characters that maybe shouldn't have been in the game. But if you tuned into our discussion yesterday, we talked about tracks, and I said how when the game came out, there were certain tracks and stuff I wasn't a fan of, and then over time they grew on me. And I think that is sort of the same case here for the roster. I think over time it kind of grew on me. I still don't love it, but I'm okay with it. Like, a lot of people hated on Metal Mario. I wasn't opposed to him. I wasn't a fan of the DLC editions. Like, it just seemed, more like Tanuki Mario, Cat Peach.
Yeah, that was filler,
and Dry Bowser was cool, but I actually liked Tanuki Mario. Like I said, over time, I don't know. It's not so bad when you look back at it. It's not the best, but just I'm dealing with it. It's like, whatever. It is what it is.
Well, so. I mean, one thing we've brought up before is it's Mario Kart. Characters don't play a huge factor. It's more just finding a favorite.
Other than weight classes and stuff.
Yeah. I mean that actually plays more of a factor than it should. But I mean, character-wise, if you play a certain weight class, they're kind of interchangeable, so it's more than just preference. But regarding, I was calling it filler, the baby characters, I don't hate on them.
It's almost like you get a new baby character, a new one for each Mario Kart game. They have to add one, and this game being Baby Rosalina.
I want to say Baby Mario and Luigi were first introduced in Double Dash, correct?
Yeah.
I didn't mind it, just something kind of different, showing the baby characters. And then you had the partners for it.
Yeah.
I don't know if they needed to come back in other games. And then you're seeing now Baby Rosalina, who's not even a character really, just a created character.
Yeah, I mean, I think Baby Peach, Baby Daisy, they came in Wii, so
yeah, kind of weird. Metal Mario, I like seeing him. He was a boss in Smash Brothers. The original. Yeah. They've kind of just made him his own character now.
It seemed like during the 64 era, he did show up quite a bit. I mean, even in Dr. Mario 64, that's true. It was Metal Dr. Mario, but still kind of the same.
So I mean, I like having him in, and Gold Mario now, being a skin. Pink Gold Peach again, created character, didn't even take up a spot. Could have put in Honeybee or Queen Bee for the heavy female character. Tanuki and Cat Peach should have just been skins, taking up spots again. We've kind of discussed this. Lakitu, I don't mind him being in. Kind of a weird choice because he is in, it's a different Lakitu. I know that.
I mean, he's just another Mario enemy that's different from anyone else, so I like the addition for him in it.
I don't mind. He seems kind of.
I thought it was
almost
cool.
Too similar to Koopa
I
Troopa
compared
to me.
it, and kind of to like a Diddy Kong Racing where TT was kind of your guide in the certain areas, and he conducted the time trials and stuff. So when you got to be him, I thought that was a really cool feature. Like, oh, now I get to be this character. That's pretty cool. And that's kind of how I see Lakitu, where he's always ran it, and he was even in the first one, doing the starting of the races and stuff. And it's kind of cool to be like, hey, now I get to be this character that, whatever. So I don't know. I've always liked Lakitu as an addition.
Well, I will say regarding the Koopalings, my favorite edition, that kind of saves it for me. I kind of, forget about the other stuff when I see the Koopalings.
Yeah.
I like them being in the game, all of them. I think it's pretty cool additions. They're all very different personalities and stuff. But yeah, a lot of filler. I would have liked to see, like, in place of the babies, because I know they're going for, like, the light characters. Well, we got, like, Goomba. People say Goomba, Paratroopa, if they wanted to bring Paratroopa back.
Yeah.
Nabbit. A lot of people like Nabbit.
AZBros.
Kamek. Yeah, AZBros.
Spike.
Kamek. Who's the other one? That I see a lot of people saying.
There's a lot.
I said Nabbit.
And the obvious ones. Did you say Diddy and Birdo? I mean,
no, I was going to get to that in a
bringing
minute.
them back as well.
But looking at newer characters, like again, putting in Pink Gold Peach or Cat Peach, Tanuki Mario, the baby character, some of the baby characters, like I said, Baby Rosalina, you could have been putting in an EGAD, or I said Kamek, something like that, who brand new, something different. But then, when you look at all the filler, and then you say, but they still didn't put in Birdo or Diddy, two mainstays of Mario Kart over the years. Kind of weird. Like Petey, we talked about this. We have another discussion up as well, the select screen one.
Yeah,
we kind of briefly
sadly,
went over
I
that.
think Petey's had his day, and I think that they're moving on from him, even though I felt Metal Mario had his day too, and now he's brought back. So there's still hope for Petey if Metal Mario is being brought back. Because, Metal Mario was more that 64 area. He was even in golf and all those games, and then Petey was more the GameCube era. But, King Boo was brought back and stuff. But I was just going to say real quick, I think it's easy to overlook the positives of the roster. I mean, that goes for anything, People are more drawn to the negatives, and there's a lot of questionable additions to the roster, and a lot of characters that a lot of people think are wasted slots, but there is a lot of good there as well. I just think it's easy to overlook it when there is so much questionable stuff in there.
Well, you've got your basic, your standard characters that kind of have to be in Mario, Luigi, Peach, Daisy, Rosalina, Yoshi, Donkey Kong, Bowser, Wario, Waluigi. Your base characters, they got to be in. Toad, but the Koopalings, putting in the Koopalings, that's great. Like, that's like your 7 brand new characters. Should have probably been in older Mario Kart games, but they're finally getting a chance.
Yeah.
But then, you start to get to those, like I said, the filler characters. Like, why the babies? Do people really like them? Maybe they do. Maybe people actually like racing as them. I'm not sure.
Some people do. I don't know.
But then, like, the skins and stuff like that, kind of, you start wondering, like, well, why didn't we do like Wiggler? Like, he was cool being in it. Like, that was neat to see.
I want more of those unique characters. Yeah.
Something we're not expecting. Like you say, Boom Boom, characters like that. Like somebody else like that. That'd be pretty cool to see. I know you were commenting on getting to the guest characters, but before that, one thing I want to say is, again, Tanuki, Cat Peach being skins. Would you like to see a system like that going forward? It's not in Deluxe. Like, we get Yoshi and Shy Guys having different colors.
Oh, yeah.
Inklings will have different variations. But do you think they should just make that a part of Mario Kart? Kind of like Smash? Like,
just costumes.
Yeah, so like characters. You could have a green Mario, kind of a Luigi one, or a Fire Flower, or just colors. Blue, whatever. I don't see why they couldn't do that. I mean, maybe there's some limitation.
I'm kind of shocked they haven't done it yet. I'm really not sure why they don't.
Yeah, does it make any sense? I mean, you change cards.
No, I'm not sure why they've never done it. It always would have been cool to race as the Fire Flower Mario costume instead of just normal. But yeah, I'm really not sure why they didn't do it. Maybe for 9. Well, we'll have to wait and see.
Maybe. Yeah, I know you want to talk about the guest characters.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, this Mario Kart game, I mean, people can argue that, Donkey Kong Jr. and Donkey Kong and Funky and Diddy and all them, were guest characters. So this isn't like anything new.
Yeah.
But in my opinion, they seem to be more of, like, it made more sense. And I didn't really ever see them as guest characters. I never saw Donkey Kong as, I guess since he was in so early.
You just kind of accepted it.
But
really,
this game really is like, these are true guest characters. I mean, you got the Inklings now, Link, the villagers, and Isabelle. Those are all guest characters.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm just curious, we can just talk about that a little bit. What do you think of guest characters in this game? Is it like, are you a fan of the ones that were added? Do you just like the idea in general? Or
well, let's start off like you were mentioning Donkey Kong Jr. and then Donkey Kong. I mean, it's funny because technically, I guess they were guest characters.
Yeah,
but you just kind of accepted it. You're like, they're in here. This is what it is. 64 Donkey Kong. Let me see. Super Circuit. Did it have any guest characters aside from, again, Donkey Kong? It was pretty
I don't think so.
roster.
Also, like, Rob appeared in DS
that's what I was
and
gonna
stuff.
say. Yeah. Well, yeah, Rob in DS. Trying to go in my mind right now. We're talking the different games. Let me see. Double Dash. Did it have?
Well, Diddy first appeared in Double Dash.
That's right.
I mean, once again, it's like it depends on if you're going to. Which I mean, I guess technically they would be.
Well, for a while there, you were just doing
but,
Donkey Kong. Like, it was Mario and Donkey Kong. That was it for Mario Kart.
I mean, Donkey Kong and Mario kind of go. They're kind of. It makes sense. Like, they've been. They're kind of like rivals and stuff.
That's true.
And they've been in the same games for. I mean, the original Donkey Kong and stuff. So.
I guess
but
Kong
I mean,
Jr. was kind
there
of
really is no correlation between, like, when you're talking about Mario and Link. I mean, they are just separate characters in separate games. Like, you can make the case for Donkey Kong not being a guest character, but you can't really make the case for Link not being one. Like, he is a true guest. Yeah. So this game has so many true guest characters in it. And, I don't know. It depends on what you'd want to classify Donkey Kong and all that.
Well, I was going to say, initially, it was pretty much exclusive to the Donkey Kong characters. So you had Funky Kong in Wii. Diddy Kong, as you mentioned, came in Double Dash. Yeah. We did get Rob. But could you use Rob as like an accessory in... I'm trying to remember how that worked out in the NES day. I didn't have Rob.
I think he had specific games.
Kind of his own game.
Yeah, I think he had specific games that, he would help you out with and stuff.
So he was kind of that first really strange guest character, right? Kind of unrelated.
I would say so. And I remember unlocking him in the DS version and being like, I didn't even know really who or what he was at that point, and it was kind of odd to me. But I would.
Yeah, this game definitely is like you said, the true guest characters. So Inklings from a whole different game.
I mean, they just went all out here.
Animal Crossing. Well, let me say this. When I first saw it, when the DLC was first announced and I saw Link, I was like, you gotta be kidding. Like, I was kind of angry about it. I will admit. I was not happy to see it. And a lot of people brought up about Rob and about Funky and a lot of the other characters being in. And I'm like, it feels different. I don't know. But, like you were saying about a lot of stuff, I've kind of just accepted it now. I don't have an issue with it at this point. I mean, I'll never get over seeing Link racing in a cart. His legs are all up. I'll never get over that. But I'm more accepting of it. It's still weird, though.
Yeah, I mean, it is. They are, you could have put in Mario characters in place of them, and I would always prefer Mario characters in Mario Kart. You know what I mean?
Yeah, me too.
It almost seems like we're going to just have that Nintendo Kart soon, or I don't know if they'd even think about doing that, but I mean, I know that it's not like overwhelming amount of these guest characters, but I always would prefer. I mean, this is your chance to actually be those obscure Mario characters, is in a Mario Kart game, Well,
like we
and
say,
then you start adding in these guest characters, and that takes spots away from the cool obscure Mario characters.
Right.
So,
well, like, is Shy Guy ever going to have a chance to be in Smash? Like, this is, like you're saying, his time to shine.
Exactly, yeah.
Some of these characters, this is the only time you're going to see them. Even, like, somebody like Daisy. I mean,
and that's what we're talking about, the whole, like, wasting slots on, like, a lot of the babies. And once again, that's, debatable whether it's a waste or not. But, like, Pink Gold Peach and stuff, they're taking away spots from other characters that I think people would be more welcoming of them, as opposed to, like I said, in fan favorites too, like Diddy and Birdo, just not making it because of all these. It does really seem like there's a lot of wasted slots. I know a lot of people probably like the guest characters. I'm not a huge fan of it. It doesn't bother me too much.
I would probably prefer not to have it.
I mean,
but
it's
I don't
a cool
mind it.
idea. Like, that's just a thing in games now, to have guest characters. But I don't know. I just always prefer having just the characters that should be there.
Well, I'm curious now. Would you have preferred, like, if they're going to go the guest character route, do you think it would you have accepted it more, been better with it if it was, like, Sonic? or Pac-Man, or like a real true, like just not even, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
I
totally
definitely would
different
prefer
company.
it to make sense. So like Link doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to me.
Yeah.
Like we talk about it. I think we talked about it in our Strange Select Screen video about. Captain
kind of
Falcon,
humanoid one, yeah.
and like characters like that. I even think Olimar would fit. I mean, he has
Samus would have been weird, but yeah, Olimar would have worked.
Yeah, and I mean, so I would have been. I mean, Captain Falcon was like a no-brainer. I mean, he's had that's what his games are, racing games. So put him in it.
He gets a track and a cart, but not.
Yeah, and then I'm saying like Link's in it. Does he make any sense for a kart racing game?
Well,
I don't
how about
think
this
so.
really quick? It just occurred to me, and I've heard some people say this before. Would it have made a difference if he was Toon Link? I would have preferred to see Toon Link.
Well, I'm not going off of visual appearance here. I'm going off of what makes sense of what they do in their games. You know what I mean? Like if they drive ships, or if it if they're like they can pilot something, it makes more sense. I know he rides horses and stuff, Link, but I'm going more based off that. Kind of like the Inklings as well. Like there's no vehicles. It kind of doesn't make a whole lot of sense. You can always make a vehicle for that character, they did the bike that looks like a horse or whatever for Link. But I mean, just Link as a character, not even going off of visual appearance, it just doesn't make a lot of sense. I think even Kirby had his one racing game. Can't remember what it's called, but he did have it, and they're like, you're racing on the stars and stuff. So, I mean, Kirby would have made sense. I think you brought him up a lot. I think a lot of people have.
Yeah.
And yeah, like Captain Falcon would have made a lot of sense, but Link to me just never made a whole lot of sense. I think it was more just from the standpoint of Zelda is a popular game for us that maybe will sell more. We may sell the DLC this way. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of weird anyway, like I said, having them in. But for me, Link, visually, I didn't care that he was way more human than anybody else. And it felt out of place, visual. But yeah, had it been Toon Link, I still would have been like, Zelda stuff. But I think I would have been more accepting of it. But that's just me. Like we say again, we're throwing these questions out there. Would love to hear from you guys.
Yeah.
So, whatever we've asked and talked about, share your thoughts.
3 Animal Crossing characters. I mean, once again, if you're going to go the guest character route, wouldn't it have been cool to have some variety like Kirby
Well, it is kind of weird,
Falcon?
actually, when you bring it up. Why is Animal Crossing so many compared to any other game?
Yeah, they got 3.
It's kind of weird.
I mean, before they had the male and female villager as one slot, but even then it was more because it was 2. But now, you look in Deluxe, which is what we're talking about, and they have the 3 slots down there. And it just looks weird to me. You got the 2 Inklings, you got the 3 from Animal Crossing, and then Link's in there. It's kind of odd. But, I don't know, like I said, it's not too big of a deal. It's just personal preference for me. I would rather not have the guest characters, but I'm not too upset that they're in there.
Do you think it's something that's going to be a mainstay now? That's kind of what I'm
thinking
so.
I'm thinking so. It seemed like Smash did it, when they brought in Sonic and Snake, and now they had a ton in 4. So I think it is going to remain.
I just want to say, I don't mind if they want to keep it to even like that bottom row being guest characters. But let's not bring characters back. Let's say Mario Kart 9, for example. Maybe Sonic does make it. Maybe Kirby does finally make it. Maybe Captain Falcon. But let's not bring back like Link every time. Or let's not bring back Splatoon every time.
And I want to bring up real quick. It's interesting. You're bringing up Sonic, and Sonic is a weird situation because not only would he be a guest character, but he would be a third-party character.
Yeah,
Sega. Yeah. Link is a Nintendo character. He's first party. He's just not a Mario character. He's a Zelda character. So to have him in it makes a lot more sense. And I just wonder what would have to go down. I mean, they did have Sonic and Smash, so I know it could work. I would love to see Sonic in it.
I want to see almost all third parties, Like, I'd like to see Mega Man, kind of like Smash. So Mega Man, Pac-Man,
Pac-Man was
Sonic.
in, like, the arcade ones, and Sonic has had his own racing game, so that would make a lot of sense as well. But I just wanted to point that out, that is even more like that's a different situation than just adding Link or villagers in here.
What I'd like to see, actually, and this is really off topic, we may do a full discussion on this, but there's really no story to Mario Kart. I would like to see a story in the future to know why they're racing.
Just for fun. I think that's the story.
I guess so. Well, really quick, too, talking about the guest stuff, and again, we're going to be doing a full discussion on guest characters in games and all that stuff in the future, but would you have preferred to only see guest tracks and not guest characters, or do you feel like if you're going to do one, you might as well do the other anyway?
I actually like the tracks. I think those are really cool, so I have no problem with it. Either way, I mean...
I kind of lean towards saying I would have almost rather just seen Mario characters but racing in other locations, so like in Hyrule. Didn't have to necessarily have Link in it, but again, it doesn't
I
really
mean,
bother
they
me
did
either
the
way.
F-Zero stages and didn't have Falcon in it.
Well, there you go. Yeah. Something like that. Like, I almost would have been kind of funny just to see your standard traditional Mario Kart game, all your Mario characters, you know, some obscure ones, all that. And then just, like, that's how you kind of introduce your other franchises. So you have a Kirby course, maybe a cup or 2 cups that are only guest tracks. Or, you know, tracks from other games like Excite Bike and stuff like that.
Yeah, I forget about the Excite Bike course as well. That's kind of... but yeah, anyway, so that's kind of how I feel about the guest characters. I mean, it's cool. I'm sure a lot of people like them, so that's fine. Like I said, some things in games I may not be a big fan of, but it doesn't really... Like, I don't lose sleep at night over it. Right. It's not a big deal to me.
Yeah, you hear that a lot where people just kind of... You know, just kind of...
You can really latch on to something, yeah. And to me, it's not a big deal.
I'm all for being passionate. I'm all for being passionate about it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But anyway, last thing I'm going to hit on really quick. Do you think it was a good idea to bring the Mii slot back? Do you think that... And that kind of goes just in general for the Switch. Do you think it was a good idea in general for Switch to even have Miis? Should they have moved on from it? I know a lot of people, once again, probably like the Miis. I never was a huge fan. I never cared for them. It's cool, the Amiibo stuff. I actually do like that. But do you think that... Because then that would have also had another spot. Another character slot if they didn't have it. Would it have been a good idea to just move on from the Miis in general, or just maybe just for Mario Kart? Maybe they still have them for the Switch, but just not for Mario Kart.
When I first saw them in the Mario Kart Wii, I liked it because, you know, Miis were brand new.
Yeah.
It was something
Yeah, I didn't
different.
have a problem either.
I didn't feel like most people were choosing them anyway. Like, they mostly just chose Mario characters, but it was a nice addition. Seeing it return in 8, I was like, were they in 7? I don't remember. Were they in 7?
I don't think they were, honestly.
But yeah, seeing it in 8 again, it was Wii U. They stuck with it again. I was okay with it. Still not a huge fan of it, but I accepted it. But yeah, moving on to Switch and still having them. I know Nintendo's proud of it. You know, they kind of were something. They kind of started something. You know, like Sony followed suit and Microsoft kind of doing.
It always makes me think Wii though, and I'm thinking, do they want to move on from that? Because obviously Mii, and it's just you flip it, and it's, you know, W for Wii or M for Mii. And I, you know, like when the game was coming out Deluxe, or when they showed a few, people were saying, "Oh, I don't
maybe
see
it's gone,
a Mii spot or whatever it was," and yeah, they were thinking maybe it wasn't going to be there. So that was interesting, but then it turned out no, they're still there.
It was kind of weird bringing it all back, but I get it. Like I said, Nintendo's very proud of it. That's probably the one thing they always hold on to, like from the Wii era, and then even slightly the Wii U, that Mii's worked. People liked Mii's. So they sadly are here to stay. Going forward, like, I don't have a problem with them coming back in this game because, again, they pretty much brought back everything except for the old
and that's
mode.
true. I mean, it is a port. They're bringing it's just a port of a game, so to bring them back, it doesn't really surprise me. Yeah,
but going forward, I wouldn't mind seeing them kind of phased out. You know, and I don't mind the Mii's. Like I said, overall, everything really has kind of an avatar setup. You know, nowadays, like I think Facebook does stuff like that. Like everybody kind of has avatars. But for Mario Kart, I wouldn't mind seeing it face out, and that it goes for Smash as well. Just tossing
it just
that
for
in
any
there.
game, really, right?
I'm kind of done with Mii's at this point.
Yeah,
it was a novelty.
Kind of like some of the other characters we were mentioning earlier. I think the Mii's are they had their time. They've had their day. I think it may be time. Forward. This may be their last, hurrah right here. But who knows? I mean, like I said, they are still for the Switch. But that doesn't mean they're going to appear in games. It could just simply serve as an avatar for you if you want it. I mean, I haven't even created one on Switch. Didn't they like make you do it for Wii and Wii U?
Yeah.
I haven't even done it yet.
I like that it is optional on Switch. Yeah,
and that's what I'm saying. Like that's cool. Like I'm cool if it's just they're there. But as far as games, maybe this might be the last time we see them appearing in a game. Who knows? I'm actually okay with it in Smash. I don't want to get too off topic here, but I just mean. That's just a Nintendo character, or kind of like what Rob is and stuff. And Smash is just all about Nintendo stuff. So that I wouldn't be opposed to. But for games like Mario Kart, I could do without.
I would have changed how they were used in Smash, but that'll be a different discussion.
Yeah, I don't want to get too off
If people
topic.
Want to hear that one, let us know. We'll do that discussion.
Because I'm fine with them there.
I have some stuff to say about that. But anyway.
Yeah. But anyway, I think that's probably going to do it. Unless you have anything else to say about anything, I think we're probably going to wrap it.
Yeah, I think we covered most of the stuff here. Just like we said, just trying to talk about the final roster now. This looks to be it.
Yeah, what you see is what you get, pretty much.
Yeah,
we'll have it on the screen. Just remember about Gold Mario. He's also there if you want to count him, or he's just a skin. But anyway, like this is our Mario Kart 8 Deluxe roster. What you see on the screen is what we're getting for the game. And like I said, overall, it's not the best Mario Kart roster, not my favorite. But when you look at the positives and you really examine it, it's not too bad overall. And the guest characters and all that stuff, that's pretty cool too. So, but anyway, I think that's going to do it. We hit on a lot of stuff here. And as always, let us know what you guys think. Do you like the roster? Do you hate it? What parts do you like? What parts do you not like? What would you change?
I was gonna say, what would you change? And
all that stuff. Anything characters related, go ahead and throw that into the comment section below. Let us know. We love to hear your guys' opinions as well. Also, if you liked the video, which hopefully you did, please feel free to hit the like button. It really helps us out a lot. We appreciate it. Also, if you want to see more from the AZBros, go ahead and subscribe. Check out our other videos. Let us know what you think about those as well. I think that's going to do it. So we'll see you next time.
Yeah, later, guys.